Howdy. Today I want to talk about a means of heating your tent, which isn't hard and can make a big difference. Uh, we've all seen these terracotta clay pot, flower pot upside down over candle stuff. Well, we ain't going to carry one of those out into the bush or out camping or whatever, but what we do carry usually is some kind of cooking system. So how can we utilise that as a dual purpose heater as well? So this is what solution I've come up with, or a couple of solutions, just using on the cooking gear I have. Obviously with what you've got you can figure out something different, but the principle is always the same. You're basically putting a candle underneath a pot, so you're changing the heat coming from the candle, which is mostly going up in convection and with very little radiant heat, onto another surface to widen its broader area and convey radiant heat, like your home radiators and your central heating system. So I'll just adjust the tripod and then I'll get on with it. There you can see, there's my old Swiss Army stove. The other one is my old Stanley, which I made 7 years ago, which is still going strong. And the other one is one I don't use very much these days because it's a bit dented and what have you, but it still does. As you can see, I've been using it for heating. That's from a 1980 a Tranger, a mini Tranger, which I brought in 1989 before they brought out a non-stick lid from. And I usually use that for keeping stuff in, like brew kit and, well, bits of food, some noodles, something like that. If I'm just going on an overnight or a couple of nights out. This is from those aluminium trays you get for doing parties and what have you. You get them in supermarkets and what have you. Well, I cut one of those up and I made it into a concertina. Now you can either use something like this as a windshield, but you can also use it to increase the surface area of your heated area, so it's going to radiate more heat. The more surface area you can heat up, the more radiant heat you're going to get out. Now I've tried these two working together in my flat. We'll get onto that. We'll get onto that in a sec. Let's strip down. As you can see, my Tranger with its own burner, cut down cord, slot it on top. Cosy, so you can drink out of it a lot easier than using the handle. That's the only mods I made to that. Bottle. That one I don't put on here, but I'll show you that in a sec. And this. So what we do, I shall now open the Stanley. Homemade candle lantern. Tartar sauce, bit of epoxy resin in the bottom. Let that go off. Put a bit of Vaseline or whatever around your tea light, stick that in, then put epoxy resin around it. Then you've got a ready-made slot for the tea candle to go in. Now these are 8-hour tea candles, so I'll do you overnight. And then what we do is we reverse that, reverse that, light it obviously first, reverse that, stick it on top, and then using the old Tranger, bung that on top, and that warms up quite nicely and gives you a nice little bit of light coming out of it. Right, so that's that one sorted out. Next one is using my Stanley pot homemade stove. I'll just grab him out. There we go. this it comes in 2 separate parts. I'll just get it out. Can be a bit of a pest. Here we go. Those are the pot stands there. Slot in, but we aren't going to use that. Now you can get 3 or 4 candles in this. This is a sweet tin base from Lidl. And that was I believe you can get a can this side which has peaches in it. But, they don't do the chili can that I got this from anymore. So basically, put your 4 in there. 3 or 4 candles in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on how cold you are. Slot that on top, or slot it in here first. Yeah, catering strip, catering platters, you know, what you put sandwiches on or what have you. A couple of little brass movements, 2 strips, and I sort of fold them half again to get the concertina. So that sits on top of there. Your candles are burning away. Candles burning away. And that lid covers the top. And again, radiant heat coming out of here. Nice little light coming out of there. And you'd be surprised how much this goes up. It can heat up, certainly in a small tent. Now I've had these 2 going. I have a small lounge in my apartment, and it's 12 foot by 10 foot by 8 foot high, work their own cubic feet. Anyway, I've had her up to 22.8 degrees C with 4 candles. So they do work, and so you can imagine the heat that would provide in a small. I'll just turn myself back onto it. Yeah, in a small tent. 1 candle should suffice. Even without that, on a cool night, just that candle on its own will take it up a degree or 2 at least. So we found that useful. I shall be uploading this shortly.